a lot of SEOs, like legit SEOs, know who you are. Um, and for people who don't know who you are, you give some of the most, some of the best actionable SEO advice. And by that, I mean SEO advice that actually gets results. Like you give SEO advice that actually gets like real results that I have used. I used so crazy. Well, okay, I'll let you introduce yourself and then I'll say like a great story from you.
Okay. So thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And thanks for all of the DMs you sent. Appreciate it. So I've been working in SEO for like over 26 years. I was building websites back in 1995 when I was still living in South Africa. Um, I then became a software engineer at Dell Computers, and then I moved to Dublin and I set up my first company. I set up primary position in 2004. In 2014, I became head of marketing for a New York-based software company. That was a client of mine. It was one of my fastest growing clients, and they raised their first 20 million, opened up their European headquarters in Ireland. I became director of marketing and moved to New York, and then after 6 years, they got acquired for 250 million by Progress Software in Boston, and we grew from like 25, 85 people to 600 in 6 years. It was pretty crazy. And then I went to work at Insights, which is an Israeli New York technology company. Took their digital marketing from 7%, closed one to 69% in 7 months. And then they got acquired 18 months later for 325 million by Rapid7. And then I was helping Instabase come out of stealth, and they were valued on CNN at 2 billion after a year and a half. And probably six other companies that acquired Netscope, and a few others. So it's been an interesting 5 years. So I have a great like hobby business or boutique SEO agency. It's myself and someone who's worked for me for like 10 years, 15 years. And it keeps me busy, and it's a great lifestyle. I live in between New York and Florida. And in my spare time, I like to help SEOs out. I learned from scratch. I learned the hard way. And I don't think it's specifically hard. I think it's just a mindset. And so I like to share that with people. And it does ruffle a few feathers, but I'm not out to ruffle feathers. I'm out to say, look, this is how it works, right? So at one end, the end I hate the most, it's like, oh, create great content. And that's lovely, but who gets to decide what is great content, right? And that's the problem I have. And so I think when people go to a forum or go to X and they say, I want to rank, and people are like, oh, create great content. Yeah, that's not how it's going to work, right? There's 10 million results in every index. So I think that's why we're here, right? Is to talk about how do people get up in Google and how does it really work? And so I prefaced this call with an update on X, and I just said, look, I didn't design PageRank, right? I don't love or hate it. I'm not advocating for it. But if you want to rank in Google, unfortunately, you need to understand it, right? And while there's a lot of debate about how significant PageRank's input is, it's still fundamental. And if you can rank with PageRank, then you can rank with PageRank, right? If you can rank with entities, go for it. I just don't see it. I know that Google has a ton of patents. There's a lot of SEO experts who infer things, and I don't argue with them, right? I just don't know how it works in their mind. But like I said, I run an agency. We work with tech SaaS companies. Most of those relationships are 3.5 years on average. I restarted 5 years ago, so the only relationships I don't have are when companies get acquired and the parent company has its own internal SEO paid search team. I like advising companies pre-seed A, and I also have 3 CMO board offers. And so I'm just here to share with people who are trying to get into Google and say, look, you can do it. You don't have to have a massive brand. Anyone can do it. I'm still romanticized and naive and believe that Google democratized the internet,